If you're thinking about starting a partnership to buy real estate, watch this video first because we're going to give you the 5 red flags to look out for before you jump into that partnership.
We're not talking about dating someone. We are talking about investing your time, money, and energy with someone to do a real estate investment. I'm Ashley Kerr here with my co-host, Tony Robinson of the Real Estate Rookie podcast. And we just authored our first book together called Real Estate Partnerships. And you can find it on BiggerPockets.com.
It's a great book. Like I said, Ashley and I both shared our own kind of ups and downs and lessons learned with real estate partnerships. And I think both of us can really attribute a lot of our success as real estate investors to what's inside of this book. We both have multi-million-dollar portfolios, and literally it's because of our ability to build partnerships. So head over to BiggerPockets.com/partnerships if you want to check this out.
If you guys would like to receive a discount, of course, we always want to help you save money for your next investment deal. You can use the code REALESTATE for 10% off your purchase when you head to BiggerPockets.com to purchase real estate partnerships.
So before we get into the 5 red flags, we just want to share 2 things that are important for everyone to kind of discuss with their potential real estate partner before you even talk about the word partnership. The first thing is making sure that you guys are aligned on expectations and roles and responsibilities. I think that's one of the easiest ways to set your partnership up for failure is when I'm expecting something of you that's different than what you're expecting of yourself and vice versa. That's how you get into trouble, I think, in a lot of times.
Yeah. And starting out, you may not know what all of the things you are that you need to think about going down the road. So, for example, if you decide to sell the property, who is actually in charge of handling the sale? Someone might be in the very busy time of their life and, I don't have time to actually communicate with the real estate agent, coordinate with the tenants in the property to have showings, all these different things. So you want to try to figure out all of these things that are going to kind of keep you in alignment. And one of our biggest recommendations is having alignment meetings. So whether that be every quarter, every single year, is sitting down and making sure that you and your partner are along the same path and one's not veering off and all of a sudden it becomes a why. One example of that happening is you want to grow and scale. You want $1 billion portfolio. Your partner just wants to make X amount of money, sell everything in 5 years and live on a yacht the rest of his life. Those 2 things do not align. If you can make $1 billion portfolio in the next 5 years, maybe those will align. But so that's why we kind of stress the alignment meetings. And that was something that was very difficult in one of my partnerships where we were not aligned on that, where I wanted to become a full-time real estate investor and my partner didn't. He was taking over his dad's landscaping business and real estate was almost a side hustle to him. And that's where that kind of tore our partnership in different directions. We still do deals together today, but it has definitely impacted our partnership and, the deals that we do now.
Think about everything from the acquisition phase. So that's who's finding the deal, who's working with the agents, who's maybe you're cold calling, to the operational component. If you're doing flipping, who's managing the contractors? If you're doing long-term rentals, who's managing the tenants? If you're doing short-term rentals, who's managing the guests? If you're doing wholesaling, who's managing the disposition process? So just think about all the different phases of whichever real estate business you're thinking to start and try and identify which one of you should be plugged into those 2 seats. But I'd say those are the 2 big things to think about before you jump into an actual real estate partnership. So with that, let's get into the 5 red flags to look out for. So if you hear your partner say any of these 5 things, run the opposite way.
Wave that red flag. The first one is it's not fair. There are going to be many things in your partnership that are not fair. And you want to be able to have that ability to lean on each other and not be worried about, I worked so much more than my partner this month. Because you know what? If you have built the correct partnership, it should even out. Maybe, there's going to be a month that their, roles and responsibilities have overtaken, the workload for that month. But having a partner that is going to complain that it's not fair and want everything to be fair is just going to be someone you don't want to deal with, and it's going to get old pretty fast.
And we're also not saying that you should try and unfairly take advantage of your partner, but to Ashley's point, it's things should balance out over time. What you don't want is someone that's necessarily keeping like super detailed score and saying, hey, I worked 21.75 hours this month or this week, and you worked 21.72. So we've got an issue here. But I think if there is an imbalance long term of the fairness, and fairness isn't necessarily how much work you're putting in, but are each of us living up to our expectations? So maybe my expectations only required me to work 10 hours a week, whereas yours required you to work 20. As long as we're aligned on that before we go into it, then there shouldn't be an issue. But if you notice that over the long run that the expectations aren't being met, I think that's when you have a right to get mad. But the tip for tat stuff, avoid that, run away, major red flag.
Second one, Tony, that's not my job.
This kind of ties into the first one, right? It's like you should be able to step in for your partner if there's a legitimate reason that they're not able to do what they're supposed to do. And, it's kind of like you see it, you own it, you see it, you fix it. And if you see something wrong in the business, even maybe if it's outside of your purview, if you're there and available and ready, and maybe your partner's not for whatever reason, just take care of it. And as long as both of you have that mindset, it makes the partnership flow so much more smoothly. Red flag phrase number 3, let's just go with the cheapest option. In your business, sometimes it does make sense to try and save money. However, sometimes it makes sense to invest money in the slightly more expensive option because it's the better option. And if you have a partner who constantly focuses on trying to cut costs as opposed to investing in the business, I think personally that's something that could cause problems down the road.
Because the cheapest option is not always the best option. Another thing to kind of align with this is not only the cheapest option, but we should hire this guy because he's my friend. That doesn't mean that they're the most qualified because you know them. So thinking about that, is your partner really in the business mentality and understands that the cheapest option is not always the best option, that there are other factors that go into, and they're willing to take the time to learn the difference between the vendors as to which may be the better option. And then also that they aren't going to want to just hire, friends and family because they know them, they feel comfortable with them, because that may not always be the best option either.
Totally, right? So if you and your partner are always potentially fighting over pinching pennies, red flag might be a sign to find someone else. All right, red flag phrase number 4 is you just do it then.
You know what? I'm done with this video. Tony, you just do it then.
So this is when you try and bring something up to your partner, to your potential partner, and instead of them being able to have a healthy dialogue around, hey, here's what I feel we could do differently, their response is, all right, you just do it then.
Yeah. You see that a lot with constructive criticism, giving that criticism, or even just like trying to talk to them about, how a situation could be handled differently, or, let's change this system or this process. Any time somebody may feel attacked or confronted, and this could be on you as a partner as to how you're approaching the situation too, that could make them have that immediate reaction. You just do it then. But if you have someone that is constantly saying that because they don't want to communicate effectively with you and they don't want to take the time to have that healthy conversation and try to solve the issue and get to the bottom of it and really map out the correct process that it should be, and their automatic reaction is that frustration, you just do it then, you're going to get a lot of stuff added onto your plate. And especially if you are the type of person that is, more type A, where you would just want to do it yourself anyways, because you know how to do it right and you can get it done, or you think that you know how to do it right.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges there. So you just want to make sure that whoever you're getting into bed with on the business side, that you guys can have a healthy dialogue when it comes to disagreements about either performance or the business or anything whatsoever. All right, red flag phrase number 5, our very last one here, and that is the unreachable person. So maybe not a phrase, but more so like an action where basically your partner is just kind of ghosting you when it comes to some of these more important or tough conversations to have.
If you guys want to learn more about some of the red flags, but also the positives of getting into a real estate partnership, make sure you check out our book, Real Estate Partnerships by Ashley Kerr and Tony Robinson. We don't want you to think that all partnerships are bad just because there are red flags out there for some partners. We want you to do a great job of vetting your partner, learn how to find a partner, and then also structuring a partnership that works for you and your partner and can sustain a long-lasting relationship.
So if you guys want to head over to the BiggerPockets bookstore or head over to biggerpockets.com/partnerships, it'll take you straight to the partnerships book. Use code REALESTATE and you'll save 10% off of your purchase. Now, we want to leave you, hopefully this video didn't scare you out of partnerships. Our goal was just to give you some insights into what's worked for us and what hasn't. But ultimately, I think partnerships have played an amazingly important role, a critically important role in both of our businesses. And our goal with this book was to give the insights about how to enter into a partnership and give yourself the best chance possible of making it successful.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you have subscribed to the Real Estate Rookie YouTube channel and check out our podcast, Real Estate Rookie, on your favorite podcast platform. If you love the show, make sure you leave us an honest rating and review. And lastly, make sure you check out our book, Real Estate Partnerships, and let us know how you like it. You can find me at Wealth from Rentals on Instagram, and you can find Tony at Tony J. Robinson. Thank you guys so much for watching.